Hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of Profit Talk. Deb will be here in a few minutes. Did I just start that before it went live? Anyways, Deb will be here in a few minutes. She's finishing something up. Um, Taxes, actually. Apparently she's on go number 3. So she's going to finish that before she joins us.
She has to finish her taxes before she can talk about them.
Right. She had something that came up in the process of doing hers, and she wants to talk about that. So we'll save that for her. Actually, I'd kind of like to wait for her for the scheduling stuff, too. So I had something that I wanted to talk about for sourcing. We talked about it today in the Hangout. I went to Target yesterday, and I went to start a section that I had, and just to scan everything. And I came across something that actually turned out to be profitable, but it was on sale and also had get this other product free. And the other product wouldn't have been very profitable, but being free, it actually turned out to be pretty darn good. So it kind of got me, like, I was in that mindset going through the whole store. After I finished my section, I kind of looked in some other places in the store, and apparently it was something they were doing throughout the store. And it actually, I came home with quite a few really good things that I wouldn't have noticed had they not been doing that. So it was kind of cool that I don't know, I guess it showed me a whole other thing to be aware of. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
I was typing.
Oh, no, that's fine.
The audience says, Danica?
This is so gross. Okay, I'm sorry. I clicked on the wrong tab, and it's like my Facebook wall, and it says, it's like this little raccoon, and he's like all evil, and it says, go to the movies alone for 50 Shades of Grey, flick mayonnaise at the couples.
Oh my God.
How disgusting is that? Like, that's what I click over to. That's so gross. Please don't do that.
And then I just felt like I needed to mention that out loud.
Oh, well, it shocked. I was like, okay, that had to show on my face. Oh,
my lordy.
Oh, Chad said had high hopes Dusty would have combed his hair, but he never disappoints.
I just went in, literally, that's why I'm out of breath. Okay, this is comb. Hang on, I'm looking at this. This is comb. It's called the messy look. I'm trying to hide all the bald spots and all the premature balding, and that's just the way it is. I have really, really super thin hair. I could get out of a shower or whatever else, and do the towel thing, and by the time I get over there to put like hair gel or whatever, it's already dry.
Mine is it's wicked thick. It's like super thick, and for some reason it's getting like curly again. So I either have to straighten it or blow dry it, and it's a hot mess. I would actually like to have thin hair. Okay, so Deb said she'll be here in like 4 minutes or something. The scheduling thing, because if you ask me about taxes, I'm going to tell you what everybody else in the thing says and go talk to your CPA or get your hubby to learn it and he'll do it for you, because mine is awesome with taxes. Oh my, you guys, I can't even look at you because I'm like reading chat and I can't. The scheduling thing, how do you schedule your day? Like your business, family, blah, blah. Do you schedule everything, or do you just kind of willy-nilly seat of your pants?
Oh my God, do not read the chat. Okay.
Yeah, I can't look at this. That's why I was like staring at it, because I was trying to read it.
Honestly, I'm seat of the pants, and that's really because we weren't. Our kids are 14 and 16 now, and we weren't that way when they were younger. So I think that makes a big, big, big difference. We had a lot more structure, we had a lot more discipline then because we had to, and they were on schedules. But now that they're that age, they're home. They go to the homeschool thing. They're out by 12:30 or 1, and a lot of times they'll go somewhere with their friends afterwards, go to lunch, go to the mall, go to wherever. I probably should know where they're at, but so that leaves afternoons open, leaves it free. They're now of the age where that their friends are driving, too. So we're not tied down as much anymore. So I kind of leave. I'm not a good scheduler. No.
I see. I need to. My thing is the boys come first, and they don't like their schooling. It is me. Now that they're older, I can say, okay, you've got, like, I fill out the whiteboard. Okay, it's like you've got this, and this to do today, and I can because Gavin is 5th grade, Braden is 7th grade, and Braden, I'm trying to transition him towards that whole high school thing, so because he needs to be in charge, be able to be a lot more independent to do his high school studies. So I'm trying to transition him into pretty much his whole day on his own. And Gavin, I'm kind of getting him, heading in that direction, but very, very slowly. So I need to be there, for them, so I'm not like completely free and open in my mornings, but I'm really flexible, I guess. But for me, if I have things to do, no matter what it is, like, business-wise or whatever, it will be finished before 5 o'clock because that's when I start supper. And I'm done with everything. Like, that's why I don't do night shows and things like that, because that's my family time. John's home, before 6:30, so once he comes in the door, everything is done for me.
What are we talking about?
The whole schedule thing.
How Danica is extremely scheduled and structured, and I am the total opposite.
I'm just kind of, I'm kind of OCD about it, I guess, because I don't want things, like, I don't want them falling through the cracks. For me, that's top priority, but, this doesn't.
But your situation's different, too, because you have a husband that has a 9-to-5, and your kids are a younger age, and they're being homeschooled in the home. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's totally different. That's not that you're better or you're OCD.
Oh, God, no.
I'm bad, or that which I am OCD, or that it's not any of that necessarily. It's just different lifestyles. It's so I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. If anybody out there feels bad because they're like, oh my God, I wake up and try to decide which thrift store to go to that day, because that's what I do a lot of days. It's just that I have that freedom to do it because I don't have, Tristan doesn't have a 9-to-5, and she does, she works with me from home.
It's just a lot of people seem to be having a hard time keeping them separate, is what it sounds like. Like, how do you keep your business life and your family life separate? And short answer is you just do. If it's important to you, then you do. You figure it out, you set a schedule and say, okay, these are my office hours.
I think we were talking about that last week. I said that about, how your day kind of just all runs together. Yeah. And you never really stop or start. You're just kind of just a hodgepodge of your day, and, you're doing all kinds of different things, and your work day never really ends,
But that's what if it's important to you to keep them separate, then you need to put the brakes on, and you need to say, okay, I will not, after whatever time or however you need to do it. If it's becoming that much of an issue, then you need to fix it. You can't. I don't know.
You can't. If you're married, for those that are married, you can't let it get to where it becomes an issue in your relationship, because I can tell you that you'll end up with a resentment from your spouse. You'll end up, you'll resent her. He'll resent, vice versa, based on, well, you're working your job too much, and I'm left with picking up all the pieces and doing everything else. I mean, it's about communication, and it's about balance.
It would be the same as somebody that works a job that they're on call. You know what I mean? Like, where they can be called into work at any moment, and your life really doesn't have a good schedule, and you can really kind of resent somebody, if they're constantly leaving, and even though you're working at home, you really can just leave. Like, you're not there. I can be in the living room with my family, but I'm not participating with them, and they're only 4 feet from me.
Right. It was, I don't know, I've gotten, like, so many people messages, how do you do it? How do you, you know, how do you do everything, you know, with your family, and especially having the kids at home and stuff like that. And, you know, there was a thing in the homeschool group, in the ladies group, and oh, I spelled that totally wrong. And I've seen it in a couple of other groups. It's like, I don't know how to keep everything separate, and everything's falling through the cracks, and this and that and the other, and it's like.
But I think those same people don't schedule well in general. You know,
Yeah.
if they really look at their habits before they even had a business, were they good at following a schedule? You know, were they, you know, I know me personally, I've never been good at routine. I've never been one of those people that can sit there with one of those hourly schedules and write out what I'm going to do that day and actually follow it. I mean, if I did that, it would be done by like 8:05. You know, like it's like I messed it up. You know, so they really have to, you can't put expectations on your business like you're going to be super organized if you're not super organized. You know, like, I mean, it's not going to change just because you're running a business.
Don't try to fit the square peg in the round hole. I mean, we've tried to do that. I'm going to be honest, we've tried to do that, and we've sat down with the whiteboard, and we've tried, and that's really just genuinely not us. We're not that disciplined. Yeah. And for years I got frustrated. I'm like, why? You know, we've got this board, you did it and decorated on Pinterest, and it looks incredible, and, you know, and why are we not using it? And then it finally just dawned on me, it didn't dawn on me, but, you know, we sat down and talked about it, and it was like, you know what, that's just not us. That's not us. It's not that my mom didn't bring me up with, my mom was uber strict, but I don't know, it's just, we have a different life. We're kind of nomadic, we're kind of sporadic, we're kind of free flow, and that's just our different. It works for us.
And see, if we do that, if we're like all free flowing and, you know, hippy dippy, we get nothing done.
There's like, another aspect of it, though, that I have seen people that they stop trying because they're so frustrated. They're like, I'm just this way. You know, it's just like me when I said, okay, well, I'm unorganized. I'm an unorganized person. I'm highly unproductive, not very efficient with my time, but I'm constantly trying to change that. You know, I'm not. So at some point, some people just accept that they're that way, and then it's like the ones that they don't want to learn taxes because it's too hard. You know, oh, well, it's too hard. No, but you have to. You have no other choice. There's just certain things that you just have no other choice. And when it comes to your business and your family life, me being unorganized and, you know, not able to set a schedule, that's just not good enough. I have to find something that works. So I'm constantly trying to incorporate something that's going to work for me. At some point, I'm going to find it. You know,
it took me the longest time to find something that worked. I love planners, like homeschool planners and things. And I went through them. There were so many that I didn't.
I could buy 100 of them, and they'll have the front page filled out, and that's it.
Well, I went through, probably like 20 of them before I found. I finally just made my own, to be honest. But it works, and I use it, and it makes me more productive. But I agree with you where you say sometimes people are just like, oh, it's just how I am. You know, it's just how it's going to be. It doesn't have to be that way. If you want it to be better, make it better.
You just have to find something that works. It's like I posted in the ladies group, and I did over in Reseller Society too, about a schedule. You know, it was an agenda, you know, that you could print out, but it was like one of the few that I could find that would actually work for me, where it was only broken down by day, and it would just have lines on it, because I can't do anything with an hourly schedule. That's just not going to happen. I'm too much of a what I feel like at the moment type person to put something on a schedule. The only thing I know is that by 5:30 I have to have my stuff at the post office. That's the only schedule I got going on that I can follow. You know?
See, I need the time. Like I like lists, and I like checking things off of lists, and I like to look and see. My kids are the same way. If if I don't have their whiteboard filled out, they're like, what do I have today? What am I supposed to do today? What? You know, they freak out, basically, until they know exactly how their day's supposed to be that day.
Well, that was why that app that I, brought up the other day was kind of good, because I like crossing things off also. For a long time I've been doing where I would write in a notebook the day, and then I would put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and as I did listings, I would cross them off. And I might do 1 or I might do 10, or I might have to add more numbers and do 15 or whatever, but it was nice to be able to look back on my day and go, okay, I did do something today. I did cross off 4 things today. And I've started using that app and putting in, things that I needed to complete, which I put on the schedule that I had to do my sales tax, and I had to have it in, before the 20th. And there just was no other choice. I have to do that. That's the law.
Do you want to talk about that so we don't forget?
About what? Sales tax?
Yeah, you said you wanted to talk about your sales tax thing.
Oh, I think some people wanted to talk about sales tax. I did my own sales tax this year. I tried to, I went ahead and filed for my number back in January, which was late because, they don't issue it right away, and then it was due on the 20th of January. So I didn't even have my number until it was already, overdue. And then I also made it retroactive back to January 1st of last year because I wanted back all of my taxes that I paid in sales tax, because I'm entitled to get that back. All the sales tax that I paid for things that I was going to resell, that I bought from Goodwill and thrift stores and stuff, I'm entitled to that money back. I shouldn't have had to pay that. So I made it retroactive to January 1st, so then I had to go back and do all of my sales tax for everything that I sold to people in the state of Texas from Amazon and eBay. And so I was working on that it would have taken me 4 hours, but I was working on the last part earlier today doing the jurisdictions, because you have to break it down by city and county. And then I left, and when I came back, it had timed out, and it deletes everything that you did. So I had to do it all over again. And that's why I was late to the show today, because I was like, I'm not leaving this computer. I'm almost finished. And so I got it all submitted at 7:05. So it's done. But yeah.
So everything that you had put in was gone, and you had to start all over?
Every city, yes. I had to start all over again.
That sucks.
There is not a save for later button. And I had even opened a separate screen so that way I could make sure, I could log in, just, because I knew it was going to time out. So make sure I could log in, and then that way I could submit. It wouldn't do it. It just deletes it. You have to start all over again. There's no save for later button, nothing. So yeah, I had to put them all. What I did do that was right is, I printed out the page, so at least I had the numbers. But then it was good that I redid it anyway, because I had done it wrong. Some of the counties and things that I hadn't did, I didn't do it properly. So it was okay that I had to go back in. But yeah, so it's finished. Yay!
Yeah, I don't know. I probably would have stopped and paid somebody.
I couldn't, because TaxJar wouldn't pull my information because I don't have a pro account on Amazon.
Oh.
And so I was like, I'm not going to pay a program if it's not going to pull it all. Plus, that's $120. And if I can just sit and do it myself, then I'll do it myself, And I think it was also good to learn. Because, sometimes you get used to something doing something automatically for you, and then if it doesn't work one day or they go out of business or whatever, you don't know how. You don't know what to do. You're just stuck there,
See,
so it was nice to just learn how to do it myself.
I'd have been the guy that would have got totally, here's how unstructured I am. I would have stopped and called you're in Texas, called the state of Texas and asked for the sales tax division, and then asked for the IT department and chewed them all out for having a computer program that timed out after 3 minutes. I told them to fix it. I would have asked for somebody else's supervisor and then another supervisor, and I would have got nothing done.
There was like 2 pages worth of city and county and special tax jurisdictions that I had put in. So it was probably like 60 different broken down jurisdictions, and yeah, they were gone.
Yeah, no. No.
Yeah. So, but it was good because at least I know, because it's some of that same information I'm going to need, not the jurisdictions, but I'm going to need for when I do my income tax. So at least I even knew like how much money I had pulled in last year from eBay and Amazon. I knew how to pull the numbers and get them all, So
Well,
it was
but at least you got it done.
I did, but now I have to do my income tax.
Yeah, I already got mine back.
I haven't started. What was the first date you could e-file?
The day that John did it.
I was going to say, usually, I can't remember what it was last year. I need to start up. Mine won't be bad because I've got it all together. I just got to punch it all in.
He is extremely on it with stuff like that. Like he's he's the Quicken guy. Everything is in there, and he knows what went here, there, and I'm the one that screws it up. I completely screw it up because I'll forget it for freaking 2 months, and then it's like, oh my god, and he'll remind me, and I like 5 minutes later I've forgotten, and then I feel like crap, and it's just this vicious cycle. But he is on top of it. Like he already has everything done and filled out and ready to go before anything even comes in the mail. He's just.
I've always been late. Like I've always been a late filer. I mean, not late, but I wait till the last minute to do it. But since I'm done with the sales tax, and I've been working on my income tax stuff, like I had finally finished putting in my cost of goods. I need to actually just add them all up. Once I get all the cost of goods added up, I'm finished. Like I'm ready to file. So. I guess sometime within the next couple of weeks I'll do it.
I was going to say, you guys still have a while, right?
Yeah, like 2 months.
Well, I probably shouldn't say that on a live show, but I was talking to my father-in-law again the other day, and he's retired from the IRS, and I got a little thing here somewhere in my pile of papers from the IRS where I have to claim $12.74 worth of interest. Because last year we filed late because we were getting a return. You don't get penalized unofficially. And I asked him, since you're retired now, you can speak freely. What was the policy on if you're getting a return on late filing? He said, well, let me just put it to you this way. He said, mathematically, how can they charge you a percentage penalty on a negative if you're getting a return? And so we've always just, if we're getting a return that year, we just ignore. I hate to say it, we kind of ignore. I don't get in a big hurry about April 15th unless I just want my return back. But yeah, apparently when I did that last year, they actually gave me interest on it, which I didn't realize they did. And so now I've got to claim that $12.74.
Yeah, because they're holding your money. They're holding your money longer. They have it in their pocket longer than they should.
So they don't care. I've never seen a penalty from filing late when I get a return, but that's not official. And
you get a penalty. Yeah, you get a penalty if you file late and you owe. You're like, give us our money right now. So.
This is so totally off topic and has nothing to do with anything, but you know how you eat something hot and you get that little thing on the roof of your mouth?
Speaking of which, is Sean still in the audience?
It's driving me nuts.
I would just go watch Cool Toad's video that he just did eating the ghost pepper sauce.
Oh, he ate one?
Did he
just posted it a little bit ago. It's only like, well, don't go watch it now, but watch it later. It's only
I haven't gotten
I'll put it on my phone. We can watch it together.
No, he did the salsa, which I would think would be worse because if you put a ghost pepper in, you can chew on one side of your mouth and swallow it, and it's gone. But if you put salsa in your mouth, that's going to hit every single one of the taste buds.
Everywhere.
And I was watching him. He's like, oh, that's not hot. And I'm watching. I'm like, okay, his face is getting red. And he's like, okay, that's a little warm. It was awesome. I
haven't gotten the notification yet to see it. My notifications aren't working right.
It was on
my YouTube things
somewhere, maybe. I don't remember where.
But he put it on his YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, but I think.
he had to put it on his YouTube channel.
He must have posted on Facebook. That's why I saw it, and I think he had just posted it. But it was awesome.
I'm not getting the notifications for most of the things that I'm subscribed to anymore. I think there's only like 1 or 2 that come through.
I get notifications for Chad's videos, and nobody.
That's the only ones I get.
I'm not sure why.
You know, I wonder if it's because when you post a video, there's a button in there you can click that says notify by email, I think. And I wonder if that's what it is, that some people, when they post videos, don't click that notify.
No, I get a notification on my phone through my YouTube app. Like, it tells me.
I get
like
none that way.
Like, there's a push notification that comes through and says, Chad Pagel has posted a video.
Yeah,
Golden Finger Picker has posted a video. And it's the only one I get.
I think it's just that Chad's the only spammer, really.
Chad's spamming everybody.
So I've been I've been doing good. You know, I had a goal 150 new listings in the month of February. I'm at 48. So, doing good. And my sales are like crazy pants. I have 15 that I need to ship out tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Like, yay. Go me.
Have you seen that little kid that does the Smarty Pants dance? Like the little kid that, she's like not even 2 or something, and her dad like points to a state. He's like, okay, where's North Dakota? And she points to it on the map, and she gets to do the crazy pants dance. Or Smarty Pants dance, rather. Okay, sorry. No. But anyway, that just, you made me think of that.
Are you going to do it for us, or what?
I totally could, but you guys are looking at me like I'm stupid, so I'm not.
Well, you're like bringing up something nobody knows anything about, and then you're not like going to do it for us.
It's like a viral video. It's this ridiculously adorable little girl, you know, and her daddy's like off camera, and he's like, where's whatever state? And she like looks and she points to it on the map. This kid knows all 50 states, and she's not even 2. I'm pretty sure she doesn't even speak. And she knows where all 50 states are on the map.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous. But she does this little Smarty Pants dance, and she's like doing like this and shaking her butt doing this. It's so cute. So look up the little girl with the Smarty Pants.
That's right. So look up Cool Toads Eating Ghost Pepper Sauce and Smarty Pants Girl Pants Dance.
Yeah, and go watch Chad's videos so he can stop being a crybaby.
I was waiting for that one. So, back totally off subject, but backing up just a little bit to the not being scheduled things and different whatever. There's a test that we worked for some people a few years ago when we did the nonprofit thrift store thing, and the guy that was our president of our board of directors had us take these personality tests, and it's called a Myers-Briggs test.
Oh, I've taken those.
And you can get a free version and a dumbed down version online. Don't pay for it, but it's really, really revealing when you take that. First of all, you find out they give you your results are basically a four letter thing. Like I'm an E in ENFJ or whatever. And E stands for extrovert. Your first letter is you're either introverted or you're extroverted. And then it tells you different things about your personalities. And my wife and I took that, and it made me realize, okay, maybe it's not that we're not structured or we're not disciplined, but we have a different type of personality. We have a personality types that we obviously get along, but when you take that test and it tells you and you look up your results and say, okay, here's my results and here's what I am, and you start reading about your personality, it literally, you'll just sit there with your mouth open and go, wow. That really described me. And then it made me realize that maybe there's nothing wrong with me, that that there's nothing wrong with us, that we're not the type of people that have whiteboards or that have whatever, but that we're more fluid type personality.
You're not Danica.
So
I don't know if I want to take it. Like, if it says I'm stupid. Okay, so what all, like, it just gives you your personality? Is that what you...
Yeah, it's,
It kind of,
might
it's
say I'm a
the kind of test they give you, isn't it? Like, that kind of, doesn't it also, like, help you figure out, what job you'd be good at?
Yeah, it was originally meant as a psychological type test, and it was originally, I think, meant for whoever invented it. I think it was meant more for career stuff, and it'll tell you, and on some of the, if you take some of the free tests online, will tell you you're best suited for, and I'll never forget, one of mine was like kindergarten teacher, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I would totally
I
do
could
that. Being a bunch of
totally see that.
6-year-old, party time, I
I
probably would
could
be
see
the
that.
worst teacher in the world, but.
They would love you.
But then it makes sense when you do that, and you're like, wow, that's just my personality type. It's not that I'm a bad this, or I'm a bad that, or I need to do this better. Why try to fix your personality unless you're, I mean, it's not going to show up if you're like a sociopath. It doesn't show up stuff like that, but it just
You'd
gives
be
you
best as
strength.
murderer.
You will be on death row.
It gives your strengths and your weaknesses, and like I tend, some people tend to be compassionate, or some people tend to be, the type of people that are military. What's the word I'm looking for?
Militant.
Militant, and they, follow by the rules, and that's just their personality type.
I kind of want to take it now.
I think you should take it and screen share, and then we'll argue when you answer each question, and we'll be like, no, you're a liar. No, that's totally not. Quit lying.
Yeah, no, that's no. You are so lying. But see, I have a problem with stuff like that, like answering what I think I should answer on, you know what I mean, on stuff like that, like the Cosmo test, or the stupid things. It's like, I know I should be answering this.
Danica's going back and answering them. No, I need more B's.
I know. I'm like, oh, I don't like that score. I don't like that score. What can I change? I'll have to take it. Now I'm going to take it tonight and see what I was supposed to be when I grow up.
Well, no, it's not an exact, but I mean, it's.
I know, but it's interesting.
A couple of people in the chat said, that's like your horoscope. But no, it's an actual psychological test. It is recognized, by the psychological community. But yeah, I mean, but like with anything else, take it with a grain of salt. I mean, don't say, oh my God, I missed my calling. I didn't teach kindergarten. But it'll tell you what kind of personality types you get along with. And then you start reading about their, and you're like, oh, wow, that's totally my friends. That explains why we get along so good. So, back to taxes.
Debbie said free test, like, what Disney princess are you? I am Princess Danica.
How do we get to the test from taxes? Because we jumped into it really, really quick, and that was on my mind, and I had to share it. So we'll go back to taxes.
Have you met us before?
I had to put the taxes on my actual, like, action list. Well, the app that I've been talking about, it doesn't have a to-do list. It's an action list, like actions that you need to take. Yeah, and, so I put that on there, so now I get to cross that off.
I kind of like that, the action list.
Yeah, it's an action list. And it's really cool because when you set a goal, then, like, if you put an action on there, then it asks you to break it down. Is this a project? Or is it, does it have a checklist? Or does it have or is it just one thing? And so, like, when I put my, that I wanted to do a goal of 150 listings, then it said, okay, is this, does it have a checklist? And I was like, yes. And the checklist was, I needed 8 things a day, for the next 2 weeks or whatever to finish it off. So
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then you get to check it off, and then it tells you, like, how many goals you've accomplished or how many actions you've completed. So it kind of has that own little, like, here's your gold star type of,
I totally like gold
little
stars.
kid thing to it, that we all need something to tell us that we actually did something.
And you waited longer than 3 minutes, so we took all your gold stars back.
All over. No gold star for you. What's the one Jeff's been doing? Pomodoro?
Pomodoro. And the app actually has a Pomodoro counter on it.
The app that you're using does?
Yeah, My Effectiveness Habit, it has a Pomodoro counter on it. And then I have also been using an app called Strictly Workflow or Strictly Work. It's also a Pomodoro type thing. Pomodoro is where you do work for 25 minutes and then you take a break for 5 minutes. And this is it's a Chrome extension, and basically it'll block all of your distracting websites like Facebook or YouTube or whatever it is that is distracting to you. You can enter in the ones that you want, but it automatically has the ones that are obvious, like Facebook, And then once you press the little tomato thing, it'll start counting down over in the corner of your browser. And so for 25 minutes, if you try to go to Facebook, it'll tell you this is work time. You can't, And then once it's over, a little alarm will sound off in the corner and tell you that you can take, you need to take a break. So it's kind of neat.
That's kind of cool. It's like, no, it's like you got this.
It doesn't have an override button. I don't know who asked that if it had it doesn't have an override button. You have to, you can't override it. It just does it.
And it's a Chrome extension, you said?
It's a Chrome extension. It's called Strict Workflow, I think is what it's called.
That's why I don't use Chrome.
That's kind of cool, though.
I like it. I mean, I tried to use this other app.
Dusty's got Firefox open.
That's just one more reason not to use it. I don't need my computer to know what to do.
Yeah, I had tried at one point to use another extension that would block your certain web pages, between certain hours, but it was just too long, and so I would end up going into the extension and disabling it, and so this actually works because it's such a short period of time that you're like, oh, I can wait 13 minutes. To tell somebody something stupid.
So Pomodoro is work for 15, break for 5, right?
Work for 25.
Oh,
25
and break for 5. Yeah. I could do that.
Yeah.
For me, it's my phone. I have a really, I don't know. As soon as my phone makes some kind of noise, it's, as soon as it's the Daleks, I'm like, oh, what is that? And
yeah.
I can't. It's I can't not. I'm like Pavlov's dogs, It's like, oh, I have to see what that is on my phone. It's got to be important. I wish I was not like that. I would hate to, or I would love to not do that. I can need to just start silencing my phone and leaving it in the other room. I think that would make me much more productive.
Huh?
And see, Deb's on her phone.
I was answering a question. Somebody had asked, did I pay my taxes out of pocket instead of collecting it? And yes, last year I did have to pay my taxes out of pocket since I didn't collect them. But since I had overpaid because I had actually paid sales tax on items that I was buying to resell, which gives me a credit, then it zeroed it out. So I didn't actually come out of pocket of any money for what I owed.
I completely didn't understand what you were saying until the end. I was like, well, of course you paid your taxes out of pocket. Where the hell do you think the money comes from? But I gotcha. That's what I wanted to, you were talking about the app. I have one called Tasks that I like, and it's just this ridiculously simple white box, and you add a task that you get to click off. And I'm trying to use that one, and it's I'm not putting anything in there. I schedule everything in Google Calendar, so that it reminds me to go to the doctor or whatever like that. But I don't know, I think it would kind of be nice if my phone popped up and said, hey, it's time to do this, or hey, did you do that, or whatever.
Yeah,
I'd like something a little more.
The app does that. If you have something that has a time that it needs to be completed at a certain time, or you can set reminders and it'll it'll remind you, hey, you need to do this. So that's kind of nice. What's up, Chuck?
Hang on. Never mind. You posted it in the groups. I need to get it because I was gonna get it and I never did.
Because it wasn't an Apple, that's why. But you have an LG. So.
Yeah. Mine's an Android phone.
Yeah, the only issue with it is that it doesn't sync automatically across different phones or tablets or stuff, but you can back it up in Dropbox, and it'll automatically once you put the app on another device, you can load it. It'll load.
So, hold on. We have a question. Sorry, my timer just
If you go to the thrift store and you pay taxes, you deduct that from the sales tax when you no.
What?
No. Basically, when you do your sales tax, anything that you paid sales tax on that you bought to resell, which is pretty much everything I buy from the thrift store, all that sales tax that I paid in, I'm due back. Like that.
Everything that you paid in sales tax to the state of Texas,
right,
we're going to deduct back off of the sales tax you owe
right.
them from your sales.
And then I also file a claim for all the money that I overpaid. So they actually owe me money back.
I'm still trying to understand what he was saying.
They were saying, like, if you go, do you deduct it off of the tax of the item that you resell? And I don't know if their question was just confusing or if maybe they were confused. But no, the sales tax that you owe, if you didn't collect tax on it, when you sold it, you have to pay that yourself out of pocket. If you bought an item and you paid sales tax on it, but you bought it to resell, you shouldn't have paid sales tax on it. So you actually claim a refund of sales tax back from the state. So I paid $900 and some odd dollars, I think, or $700 and some odd dollars in sales tax last year on items that I bought to resell that I shouldn't have paid on. So they essentially owed me back $700, but since I owed taxes, then it just deducted out and zeroed it out, and then they still owe me money back.
I'm with you.
No, I understood I understand how it works, what it was supposed to be. I just couldn't wrap my mind around what they were saying, like what the way the question was. I couldn't get my mind to understand what it was.
She.
Oh, she.
01 woof.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Sorry.
I just couldn't understand the way.
Am I not seeing the comments, or I'm not? Something messed up.
I just couldn't understand my mind wasn't understanding how the question was, or what the question was.
Probably got you in your 5-minute timeout.
Right.
That's why you're not seeing any comments. All of a sudden, the screen's going to go black, and it's going to just be like a warning thing.
I know, right? Damn it! I told you it's work time.
Sorry, Deb.
And Paul is explaining it, but the state of Texas doesn't have income tax, so I don't know if that's something that Paul is doing through his state taxes. We don't file state taxes, so it's done through our comptroller's office through the sales tax division. So it's like a separate. It doesn't even look like a tax form. It's almost like a declaration that they owe you. It's like, I such and such and such paid such and such and such, and you owe me such and such and such. You sign it.
Now I feel bad because she said, sorry if I confused the question.
You're confusing sales tax with income tax. Those are totally separate things. So, like Julie just said, so are you claiming the price with sales tax and deducting the sales tax? No, those are sales tax, and the cost that you paid for an item are two entirely different things, and they are not considered, the sales tax you paid is not a cost of goods. That is a sales tax, and that's a separate tax.
Yeah, your cost of goods does not include tax.
No.
Yeah.
At all. Nothing.
Yeah. It's like if something is 99 cents plus tax, your cost of goods was 99 cents.
Right.
I feel really bad now because, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. She's like, don't feel bad.
I'm always
afraid when I do that.
Tax advice because, ultimately you should ask a CPA. Of course,
gotcha.
I get so tired of hearing that, though, because who in the hell is talking to CPAs? I'm not. If I was, I wouldn't be asking you any questions.
Taxes really aren't. Taxes are intimidating to a certain extent, but if you with so many online programs anymore, it's not like I remember doing my first taxes when I was 16 years old and doing my return and doing the old 1040 easy.
Well, it was so easy, though.
I honestly,
it was easy, yeah.
I honestly don't think that the tax people know any more about internet taxes than an educated reseller probably does. You know what I mean?
It's all the little intricacies.
If you ask a CPA, and I've seen this in forums and just all kinds of different places, if you ask your CPA, what do I do about sales tax? We won't get into the whole unless y'all want to go there. The whole Nexus thing with the Nexus with FBA.
I don't think there is Nexus.
If you ask 100 different CPAs across the United States, you are going to get 50 different answers. I can guarantee you. because it is so unclear on the laws right now. So, I mean, ultimately, what do you do? You know,
not a damn thing.
Get a different. If you don't like the answer, get a different CPA, I guess, one that saves you money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Somebody made a really good point, though. Go, sorry.
No,
I lagged behind you. Oh, no, somebody had a really good point, and I don't even know what group it was, but they were saying, you know, if this Nexus thing is such a big deal, blah, 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 where are all of the people complaining that they've, you know,
I saw that
been
too.
gotten. And I was like, that's true. You haven't seen one single person, you know, all out of how many, God, how many Amazon sellers do you think there are? And if Nexus is such a big deal, somebody would have gotten busted by now. You know, you've got people doing huge freaking numbers of sales. If it was something that they were going to go after people for, somebody would be posting about it by now.
You know, I mean, they're still trying to get it all pushed through Congress, and the last bill that went through was, you know, we're not going to force resellers to collect, or that tried to go through, we're not going to force resellers to collect unless they do, I think it was like $2 million a year, which
exactly.
I'm all for. Personally, the legislation that I would like to see, let Amazon and eBay, because they're processing, or Amazon and PayPal, they're processing my payment, let them collect the taxes, let them file the taxes, because I don't want to file. I mean, think about it. You just went through it, Deb, with the state of Texas.
With one state.
Counties and how many municipalities. Now multiply that times 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I got into a little debate because somebody was talking about, you know, filing taxes with Amazon and stuff like that. When I called my sales tax department and I spoke with the representative there, we had a really lengthy conversation about Amazon and whether or not I was supposed to be collecting taxes for Amazon and this and this and this. And he basically told me that a warehouse was not a place of business, that my home was the one that was receiving the orders. That warehouse was not my place of business, and I was not required to file sales tax for any place other than my state. Now, somebody told me that guy's an idiot, blah, 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 blah. But then, you know, I think that's true. My house is my place of business. A warehouse is not a place of business. It's a warehouse. It's a storage facility.
Mm-hmm. It's a stopping point.
Right. They're not receiving the orders there. And it specifically says it in the thing, you know, it says specifically in the state of Texas sales tax thing, a warehouse is not a place of business.
Yeah. Well, it's like somebody said, you know, do you have Nexus because your package stopped at a UPS center on its way to, you know, it's like, because somebody tried to say, well, it stops there.
If you've ever gone into Amazon's got, there's an Amazon report that's inventory movement detail, I think it's called.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh, it's ridiculous how
but
much
it will literally show you. Yeah, just because you sent your crap to Chattanooga doesn't mean it's sitting in Chattanooga. Your stuff, if you sit and look, your stuff is constantly getting moved back and forth. When Amazon runs out over here, because in California, because somebody ordered the last one FBA, and you've got 5 over here, they're going to move 2 of them over there. Your inventory. So how could you even? And you know, of course the powers that be are going to say, well, that's not an excuse to not know where your inventory is. But I mean, me personally, until they rule on it completely, and it's never, you know, a couple of states have come down and said, we, as the state of New York, for instance, you know, say this is our definition of an excess. But until it gets ruled on by Congress and something becomes nationwide, you know, they've also talked about pushing a nationwide internet sales tax. I mean, I'm
rolling with it.
And I'm going to be honest, the only people that I hear really saying you have to do it if you have your inventory in an Amazon warehouse, that's a Nexus. The only people I really hear saying that, and I'm sorry if they're listening, is TaxJar. But what do they do for a living? They make money off of helping you collect sales tax.
Yeah, and you know, I'm up for listening to the guy at my sales tax office that says, this is what our rules are. You are here, and this is what you're required to do. And so if they say I need to do Texas tax, then I did Texas tax. Then I finished, and I'm doing. So, I mean, it's very specific. He's like, it's article this, and this. A warehouse is not a place of business. Your place of business is wherever you are located. You are located here. You are required to pay taxes this, and gave me like the article number and everything, talking about online sales and the definition of a business and what a warehouse was defined as.
Well, even like in the state of Alabama, you should collect taxes, sales tax on things you sell within your own state. Mm-hmm. Even on the state of Alabama, on your personal income tax form, it has a line in there, did you purchase anything off the internet? And it is actually on the taxpayer to be honest and put that down and submit their sales tax that they didn't pay. So how can you throw that back on me as a seller? And basically what it amounts to, from everything I've read, they can't enforce it on people's income tax returns in Alabama, so they're going to try to spin it and put it on me.
Well,
the responsibility of the taxpayer.
On my sales tax form that I just submitted, it had a place on there that I was to put any items that I bought, that I bought for my business that I didn't pay tax on, that I needed to pay tax on for the state of Texas. It was like the third thing down. It was like how many sales I had, how many sales were in the state of Texas, what my purchase amount was for, items that I purchased that I didn't pay sales tax on, that I owed sales tax for.
Ridiculousness.
So in a nutshell, ask your CPA, and if you don't like that CPA,
don't listen to
CPA.
us.
And if that CPA,
because we don't know nothing, and we're not going to bail you out.
And if that CPA tells you something that's going to cost you, like, oh shit, it's going to cost me a lot of money, just find another one, because they're going to give you a different answer.
Like, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't want you anymore. What is your eBay theory, Dusty? Because we're almost out of time.
Are we changing? No, I tried something today. I haven't had any sales on eBay yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday. I didn't have any today, and it dawned on me I had a lot of pending shipments. This is my eBay theory.
Oh, I've had that theory. I know your theory.
I had a lot of pending shipments from Saturday that I didn't ship because the mail had already run, and so I had like 6 things I needed to ship out. And I was sitting in the hangout with somebody this afternoon. I said, you know what? I'm going to try something. I've had no sales in 36 hours. I said, I'm going to go in here and print all the labels for everything to go out tomorrow. I printed all of them. My phone has cha-chinged, and that was 3 hours ago. It has cha-chinged 4 times since then.
I've had that theory for a very long time. I always noticed that I didn't get sales on Sundays and Mondays, and that was because I had pending orders from Fridays and Saturdays. And it would be a lot. It'd be like 15, 16 things, and they weren't shipped out, and my Sunday and Monday sales were always peh. And Monday, I'd print out all my labels, ship all my stuff out, and then my sales would come back on Tuesday.
So I'm not crazy?
No, you're not crazy. I've had that theory for a very long time.
Why? Why is it?
I think
because they feel like you don't have the capacity to provide good customer service.
Exactly.
Because you are not shipping your stuff out. So why would they give you more orders for them to be late?
Cassini basically doesn't recognize, hey, it's a non-shipping day. I think Cassini looks at it and goes, look at this, like she said, this guy can't handle the orders. He's not shipping his stuff out. We're not going to put any more business his direction until he ships the stuff that's already.
It's part of their throttling program. Because, if you read in the terms and conditions when it talks about how they're going to direct the sales, one of the agendas in there is providing good customer service. So that's why you won't see a huge ramp up in sales either. You're not going to go from 1,000 sales to 6,000 sales because you can't handle the capacity.
Right.
And so that's why they even have the direct, this is their thing of saying why they have the direction of sales and why they throttle people down is because they want to make sure that you have the capacity to process those orders and not make mistakes and not screw things up or run out of inventory or whatever it is, that you're able to sustain a level of customer service.
And that's the honest truth. And it's been 3, probably maybe, honestly, it's 8 o'clock here. It was about 4:30, 5 o'clock, 3.5 hours. And I've had 4, I don't know if you heard it, but I've had 2 cha-chings since I've been sitting here. I've had 4 sales since then, and I've had nothing the prior 36 hours.
That's like crazy.
Night.
Yeah, it's all part of their the throttling of Cassini and the way that it works, and it's just them trying to guarantee that you're able to provide a level of service. And that's what it is with the shipping. You got a whole bunch of stuff not shipped out. Why are they going to give you more sales and you can't ship them out? You're not shipping stuff out. And there's always instances that are different. Like today, I have a bunch of stuff I didn't ship Saturday. I didn't ship Sunday, but I had a lot of sales today, but I had a lot of auctions that were ending. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I had like 8 sales that came off of auctions.
And I normally keep on top of it. I just got lazy this weekend. I was like, okay, Monday's a holiday, Sunday's a holiday. eBay Computer's going to recognize that as me. There's a reason I didn't ship because it's not, we're already on the next available shipping day. And I just simply didn't print those 6 labels or 7 labels. But had I done that, I probably would have had a lot of sales yesterday.
Yeah,
that's just so weird to me that it's that
time.
detailed.
Yeah.
That's just, I don't know why that kind of blows my mind, but it kind of blows my mind that it's that detailed.
They're trying, I think part of Cassini was to weed out bad sellers and weed out people that couldn't handle the volume and weed out the reputation they got for a long time on eBay over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years of having sellers that didn't, sold items but didn't ship them, and then they get cases open, and then eBay had to get in. There's a lot of labor involved on their part with all that, and then their reputation went downhill. And I think when they designed Cassini, they worked in a lot of safeguards. I mean, do you think so, Deb? I mean, that was one of the things they worked in.
Yeah, and it's just like they also, people got really upset, and they were like, well, they're trying to weed out top-rated sellers so they don't have to give discount. No, it's because they gave top-rated seller to everybody. I mean, you had to be a total jerk seller to not get it. You know what I mean? And so basically what they did is they made it
like it should
harder to get.
Like
if I lose my top-rated seller, it's going to be because I made mistakes. I shipped out stuff that, was, turned out to be broken or whatever, or made a mistake and shipped the wrong thing. And then there's always a level of crazies, that are just crazies. But I mean that's why they put in the kind of a bumper, to try to help with that. But yeah, I mean they made it harder.
I'm afraid that's where we're going to end up on Amazon now that they're giving away all the gatings, because people are getting it that have no business. Well, they have no business selling on Amazon, period, at this point. But I think we're going to end up with a lot of stupid, really restrictive rules that we didn't need because people are going to screw it up. Just like, how eBay ended up with Cassini.
It's like I said today, and I said it a couple of times in the last week, if you want to get in on clothes, you better get in now, because they're going to close that down. Yeah. I have seen way too many people asking some really dumb questions that I'm like, you shouldn't be selling clothes. That's, I don't want to win the game.
Amazon. I'm saying now that they're giving away all the, they're giving away the ungating, basically, you can scribble a receipt with a crayon, essentially, and get ungated on Amazon right now.
I mean, DVDs headed that way for a long time because there was, all the studios literally almost shut Amazon down with, with lawsuits and everything else against, copyright infringement because of them perpetuating, I guess is the right word, the sale of counterfeits by their third-party sellers. And I saw it going that way for a long time. So when they did gate DVDs, to me personally, it didn't come as a real big surprise. It was kind of the wild, wild west. It was kind of out of control. And then they did jewelry before that. And I totally agree. I think clothing is going to be next.
Oh yeah, if you want to do clothing, you better get in it now because they're going to close it down. It was just like the other day when I see that person, they're like, I just got ungated for clothing. Can I sell replica jerseys?
Oh my God!
No,
yep.
No, you can't. What's wrong with you? Somebody close the gate. But
replica. That's French for fake.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
Replica is fake.
Okay, guys, we's out of time. Couple things I wanted to remind people about. We've got the reseller wake up. If it gets enough likes on today's show, then we'll do one tomorrow. If not, catch it Wednesday because Catherine's going to be on, so that we all get to question her in detail about her master class. You've got the Collector's Catacomb on Thursday. Is meet and greet, Chad, I don't know what you're doing, son. So I can't even say, Chad and Ronnie.
Officially back. He has promised, and I'm going to hold him to this. It is officially back. I think Pickers Church and meet and greet are back. He's settled in. He's got his office under control. He's out of bullshit excuses, basically. So,
the next thing we're going to turn around, he's going to be sick.
Something's going to happen. Oh, my computer's not working. Kim doesn't feel well. And then, okay, so we've got Collector's Catacomb on Thursday, Toadcast Friday. What else is there? There's so many good shows out there, guys. Don't forget to check the sourcingforum.com. That's starting to get a little bit of momentum going, so that's pretty cool.
Reseller Society is about to hit 10,000 members. I said I'm going to keep like leaving and coming back until I can be like the 10,000th one.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Reseller Society is at 9,995 members, and at the rate it's going,
it'll be sometime tonight, unless there's a mass exodus.
Well, congrats to them then. That's pretty cool.
They're like, oh, we gotta go. It'll be like 9,800 people.
Right. Gotta go. So hopefully see you guys in the morning. You know, go like the show so that we can do it. If not, we'll see you guys Wednesday morning.
Bye. Don't listen to anything we say.
Right. Yeah. We don't know what we're talking about.